I have actually done 2 US visa interviews. First time I was a tourist and the second time I was a student, and in both of those I was approved. But one thing that was common is that in both of those interviews I was asked something about proving my finances. If you're watching this video, you're definitely in the right place. Fun fact, when I was actually applying to come and study in the United States, I did not have a full scholarship. In fact, I had a scholarship of less than 5%. So it was very important that I prepare to show sufficient proof of funding. And you will get answers to all of your questions in this video. Now, let's get started. For any visa interview, especially the student visa interview, one of the reasons as to why so many students get rejected is because of their inability to show proof of funds. Why is this important? A US visa interview officer is interested in understanding whether giving you an opportunity to come and study in the United States is going to make you a liability to the United States government. That is why it is so important to show that you have sufficient funding to sustain yourself throughout your education period. When it comes to studying in the United States, you only need to show proof of funding for 2 things: tuition and living expenses. Your tuition is what you pay to the school, and the living expenses is what sustains you throughout your entire education period. So before you even schedule your interview at the US Embassy, the school is going to issue you an I-20. So let's take an example. Let's say the tuition is $30,000 and your cost of living is $20,000. Assuming you get a small scholarship, maybe $5,000 or $10,000, that leaves you with $40,000. So your I-20 is going to say you need to show proof of funding for $40,000. So how much should you actually show as sufficient funding? The recommendation is usually 1.5 times the total amount of funding for tuition and living expenses. Because if you present a bank statement that totals, let's say, $40,000, and that is exactly the balance, especially if this bank statement is not even your own, it's gonna raise suspicion. Because you need to leave room for things like emergencies and all this other stuff, which is so important to show that you have more than enough to sustain yourself throughout your education period. This is important because, as I had mentioned, I did my interview 2 times, and in both of those, I was asked about my finances. Now, I made 2 separate videos that you'll find very helpful. I'll put the links in the description. One of them is the top 5 US visa interview questions and answers, and the other one is about mistakes to avoid when it comes to preparing and doing your actual US visa interview. Now, I'll put the links in the description and you can watch them after this video. First, let's talk about the documentation that you need to show as proof of funding. Sometimes the family that is willing to sponsor you is not your immediate family. This could be an uncle, an auntie, or anybody else that they are choosing to sponsor you throughout your education period. They could be based in the US or still back home, but you need to show sufficient documentation as to why they are choosing to sponsor you. So this could be a written letter with their signature, signifying that they've agreed to sponsor you, accompanying bank statements, and ideally why they are choosing to sponsor you. Remember, coming to study abroad can get quite pricey, and I'm sure whoever they are, they have other expenses. So what makes you so special that they choose to invest their resources in your life? So one good answer that I've heard people talk about is saying maybe this person has a company and you have an agreement that after you graduate, you're expected to come and work for them, let's say for 3 years, in order for you to repay that favor. Another very common way to show proof of funds is through external sponsorship. So this could be an employer-based sponsorship. So if you're working for a company and they're willing to sponsor you throughout your education period, one of the ways that you can show this is using a written letter. I remember the first time that I came to America, it was a fully funded opportunity by my university. So all I had to do was present to the visa interview officer the letter that was showing that this institution was going to take care of all of my expenses in the United States. So what was interesting is that they asked me why I was chosen for that particular program. It's the same idea that I had floated around when I was talking about why a distant relative would be choosing to pay for your experience or your education abroad. So it's very important just to think about that answer in mind. Another proof of funding is a pre-approved loan offer letter. So how this works is you apply to a company and they pre-approve you for a certain amount of your loan, tuition or living expenses, and you come with that letter for your US visa interview. Now, here's my recommendation. Most of the times that people get rejected for this is because they apply for such a huge amount of money. So picture this, you have $2,000 in savings and you've applied for a loan for $48,000 so that you can be able to show proof of funding for $50,000. Most of the times it will raise suspicion in the visa interview officer's mind, thinking that if this person hasn't even saved 25% of what it will take to sustain them throughout their education, they might begin to wonder whether you will feel the pressure to remain in the United States, maybe even illegally, in order for you to come up with enough funding to be able to repay back your loan. So it's very important to consider this strategically. And I'm going to be talking about scholarships in a little while, but definitely think about the percentage of loans that you're willing or thinking about applying to and how that can impact your US visa process. Another way to show proof of funding, and this is everybody's favorite, in fact, I am praying for all of you watching this video that you actually get this, is a scholarship letter. Now, if you apply for a scholarship, usually you will get a letter that says, congratulations, you've been given this amount of scholarship. For example, like I had mentioned, when I was applying to come and study in the United States, I did not have a scholarship. But when I got here, I kept applying to other universities and I got a 75% scholarship. Yay! And I was able to transfer to that school afterwards. Now, what they sent me via email is a letter saying, Dear Lavina, you've been issued this amount in scholarship. It is your responsibility to pay this other amount in tuition. So that was it. So in your situation, you might apply and then get that scholarship before even coming here. So that is the letter that you will present ideally to your school, and then they will deduct that in your I-20. So let's say everything was totaling up to $70,000, the scholarship paid for $50,000 or something, and then you just put the difference, and that's the only amount of money that you need to show as proof of funding. And I hope you actually get a scholarship. I really do. The last category of documents that people usually bring are secondary documents, but most of the times they usually don't add as much value, but it's just good to bring, you never know. So one of them is, if you have a business, the business registration; if you have some land, the title deed; if you have a property, the ownership of that property, among those other things. However, visa interview officers don't really like this because it's not liquid cash. It's not cash that you have at hand. It's good to show that you have a backup plan in case of anything, but the most important one that's mostly encouraged is cash that you can easily cash in for your living expenses and all of that stuff. So to quickly recap, you need to show funding for your tuition and living expenses. And we've talked about all the different ways that you can show this using supporting documentation. If you've come to this far in this video, you definitely are serious about preparing for your US visa. You're gonna really appreciate my other two videos. Number one is the top 5 most commonly questions you're going to be asked, and the other one is going to be the mistakes to avoid. If you watch these 3 videos, you're going to decrease the chances of you getting a denial, because this is the number one reason so many people get rejected, because of the inability to show proof of funding. But other than that, I wish you all the best in your US visa, and I'm waiting for your testimony. See you next time.